To talk about my.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi.
Don't you look cute today?
Well, cute or ridiculous. I don't know. I don't think I've worn this since my kids were like in third grade. And for those that might not remember, my kids are 24.
Well, my kids are in third grade and kindergarten, and they would love that sweater.
Well, I think I did say I should send it to you, but I don't know. It might be a little big on you because you're tinier than I am. But
Well, isn't the whole idea of a tacky sweater do they call it tacky sweater or is it a
well, I think they call them like ugly sweater
ugly
parties,
sweater
like
contest or whatever? Isn't it supposed to be ill-fitting too?
well, it fits me fine, whatever. It's okay. It actually has a big scarf that can go with it too. And then I'd really be over the top. I should have brought it and wrapped it around my head.
I mean, why not? So why don't we tell people who we are? Because they're getting on and they're going, what are these people wearing? And why did I come to the YouTube channel? So I am Megan Holmes. I am here in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm actually in the back of the house today because I have a bustling store going out there. I own the Needlepoint Clubhouse here in suburban St. Louis. And together with my friend over here with the tacky sweater, Melissa McLeod, coming to us from Grosse Pointe, Michigan at the Wool and the Floss. We have combined forces to stirred the pot and combined our cauldron, and we have this magic thing we call the Pointing It Out podcast.
Yay.
Do you like that? Like really, really bad I don't know.
Halloween associations.
Yeah. So here we are, and we do this thing that we call the Pointing It Out podcast here on our channel on YouTube. And we like to talk about all things needlepoint. And today we are going to, since we are in spooky season, just about to get into trick or treat time, we are going to talk about all things needlepoint Halloween related. So, I am not a big dresser upper. Are you a dresser upper for Halloween?
Okay, wait a minute. You're saying that you have that ridiculous thing on your head and you're going to tell me?
All about accoutrements, but I'm not really like, I don't want to be like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man or the Wicked Witch of the West or a Munchkin or I'm not really like, so I get trouble for that a lot because I just am not a costume party person.
Yeah, I am kind of a Halloween Scrooge. Like I don't feel comfortable in it, which is stupid. I should like lighten up and have more fun. So I'm actually kind of surprised that you don't like to do that because it kind of seems like something you would like to do.
So I love stitching in season. I love dressing for an occasion, but I think what it really boils down to is I never have a really good costume. And if I do have a good idea, then I don't have the pieces and parts and then I don't have time to deal with it. I don't know. I feel like college was maybe what ruined me for Halloween because it was when everybody would just like wear like party clothes. I don't know. I just am not a big dresser upper and I don't like to be scared. I hate being scared. I hate being scared. I hate when people jump out at me. I don't like being surprised, but I think that Halloween stitching is so fun. And how is that possible? Like I kind of don't like Halloween, but I love Halloween stitching.
Way, but I have to dive into one thing you said about how you don't like being scared. And I think everyone knows that your connection to Michigan is Mackinac Island. So I'm going to digress and tell you one really funny little story. I don't think you've ever heard this from me.
Okay.
When I was in 5th grade, my dad got a new boat and it was like a 26-foot boat. So anyone who's a boater knows 26 feet is like a perfectly lovely boat, but not for 4 people to stay in for 6 weeks, which is how long
it was like a stay overnight kind of boat.
Yeah, like, but barely. There's barely any room in it. So in any event, our boat kept breaking down. It was a brand new boat. Brand new boats tend to break down. So it took us 6 weeks on this boat to get from northern Michigan to Detroit, which is, ridiculous. So that tells you how many times it got broken down. So one of the places that was broken down was Mackinac Island.
That's a nice place to be, if you ask me.
It was. So we decided to go to the Haunted Theater, I think it was called.
I never stepped foot in. Never. And
it was
3 years.
So it was me. I was in 5th grade. My sister was in 9th grade and my mom, and my dad was probably dealing with like how to like get the boat to work kind of thing. And for those of you who haven't been to this place, nothing really is about it is all that scary, except for they have all these little secret boxes, like as you walk through this place, and it's pitch dark, and people reach out and grab you.
Oh, no.
And you don't know this is going to happen. We got to the point, we got about halfway through, and there was an emergency exit. And my mom and my sister and I were so scared. We literally were like holding on to each other by the emergency exit and wouldn't move because we're like, people are moving. So finally, this nice young man, it was probably like some man on his honeymoon, and he had to drag the 5 of us through this place, his wife and the 3 of us that, you know, he got stuck with, and then himself. So if you don't like being scared, do not go to the Mackinac
I never did. I never did. I just can't understand the concept of wanting to be terrified. Like
it was that, honestly, when I think back of all the things in my life, which tells you I've had a pretty good life, like that was honestly some of my most terrifying moments was in that place.
I get it. I get it. People used to like in high school go in like big groups to haunted houses, and I never ever went. I never wanted any part of it.
I think that experience ruined me. So yeah, me neither. So we've gone down a big rabbit hole, but I thought that was a funny story.
Suffice it, for some reason though, it might be the colors. It might be the
colors, sure. For me.
you know, there's also something so sweet about Halloween. My husband and I were just watching a documentary about like sort of how it got started, and it was to create community and to be able to like trick-or-treating started because they were like, go visit your neighbors and let's get out and like have these like neighborhood events. And I love that sentiment. And I love the idea of little kids dressing up as like their hero or, you know, their favorite toy or whatever. Like, so this Halloween, my son is going to be a pterodactyl. He's obsessed with dinosaurs. And so he's going to have wings, and like, that's just so darling because he loves dinosaurs. And so he gets to do that. My daughter is obsessed with pandas. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. We don't have bamboo at our house. Like we've never like, I don't know. She loves pandas. So she's got these panda stuffed animals. And so she's going to dress like a panda. And so they're so excited. They're so excited to dress up. They're so excited. And it's not just about the candy. So to me, there's like something kind of sweet about Halloween too. It doesn't have to be like terrifying, right?
No, and let me tell you. So one of my favorite Halloween things that I stitched.
That's what I was trying to.
Was when my kids were all this age, like your kids' ages, and you spend half your life sitting around like waiting for them to come out of school, or one's getting dropped off and you've got 15 minutes before the other one gets dropped off. So you have a lot of sit in your car time. So I stitched this whole little Needle Diva set.
Love this.
So here's the little prince.
So he's dressed as a prince. Ugh.
This is cute. So hold on.
That reminds me of Daniel Tiger, which I also adore.
There's 12 of these. So here's the little girl with her black cat, pumpkin, dressed up as a
pumpkin. Pumpkin costume.
Is this? Oh shoot! See,
Frankenstein.
Well, see, I don't really get.
Or is he a Martian or something?
No, I think he's Frankenstein. And then here is Dracula. But
they're
like cute, fun little Draculas. They're not like creepy, scary.
They're just like little kids having fun dress.
Yeah, there's no blood dripping down his cheeks or whatever. Here's the pirate.
Yay.
So cute. Sorry. I just love this set. And these are all finished as weighted stand-ups.
So he's
kind of like, I don't know what he is. What do you think? Is he just like,
I think he's a pirate too, because he's got an eye patch.
Yeah, he's like the pirate assistant, I think.
Sure.
But these are all done as little weighted stand-ups. So my kids used to like play around with them because you can't break them. You know, I'm dropping them here, they bounce.
Right.
Little gypsy girl.
Cute.
Okay, I'm going through them fast because I know this is like,
no, I like it.
Literally little fairy. Look at how sweet she is.
She is sweet.
And I love the little black cats and the pumpkins. They all have the same little border on the bottom.
Yeah, I was just noticing that little pumpkin border.
Yeah, and like this one, they have a different border.
There's
like
the devil.
A little devil girl, but yet she's a devil and she's in there smiling as sweet as can be, you know.
Yes.
Not creepy. I don't know what we call this one. Do you have a name for her?
Witch. She's a witch. She's got a witch's hat and a green face.
Okay, yeah, I guess witches have green faces. See how much I don't know? And this is the second to last one. This little girl, I think she's supposed to be a ballerina, maybe?
Or a little princess with her.
Princess, there we go. But the one and only time I made my kids a Christmas costume, only once. Oops, see, I just dropped them. I'm just going to drop these all on the floor because I have no place to put them. It was before I had this set. I made Kaylee, my sweet little Kaylee that all of you have met, this little kitty cat costume. It's the only thing I've ever sewn. And it probably is because it was that fur, that fake fur in a sewing machine. Like, what was I thinking? But it turned out cute. And then 4 years later, Allie wore it, but she put on a princess crown and a tutu and found a magic wand. And she was like the princess kitty
cat. Love it.
So cute.
See, so that's what's so wonderful about Halloween. It is evoking good imaginative ideas. I love
so my kid doesn't have blonde hair, but she's so cute. And then they all stand. So those were all done in the lines. The big kahuna is the one that took me a while to finish.
So, oh wait, what is this?
This is the backdrop to all of them.
Oh, that's the house they're all going to.
Yeah, so these kids all stand up in front.
Oh.
This says, are you dead? Maybe not. All these little kids are waiting to go out. They're in the windows. And look at that darning stitch. We have darning stitch on our pointing it at 21 and 21.
Get a great. Oh, I see it. I see it. Yep. Oh, that's perfect. Love that. You said you did this when your kids are little. So that was probably 18 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, I know I'm old, but that's
no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm wondering if this is still available.
It is, because I've actually just recently ordered it for actually 2 customers. It's been here for the longest time. And all of a sudden this year, 2 people are like, I need to have that. So it's from Diva. And I can tell you they're back ordered right now, but they are still available because I ordered them.
So when you did that, was there a stitch guide or did you just kind of make stitches up?
There was a stitch guide and I can't remember who did it. I'm sorry, but really, if you look at these carefully, a lot of it's more about the fiber selection. Like there's fuzzy stuff on the cat.
You walked me right into it. That's what I was trying to get to.
There's not a lot going on. Like the background's all 10 stitch. I do remember it being 10 stitch and Splendor. It was the first time that I applied Splendor for a big project. So it, took a little getting used to for me, but it worked great.
My point in what I was trying to get to is that the designs are cutesy and simple, but you can really do a lot with the threads, right? So you were just joking about whether a witch has green skin, and in my world it does because I was a giant Wizard of Oz fan. But so this is my very favorite, hold on. This is my very favorite, it's not focusing very well. This is my very favorite silk lame for green witch faces. The color is 220. I love it for margaritas. Love it for witch faces because it's not like lime, but it's not also like moldy, gross, like witch face, like too olivey or something. And it has.
Did you say 220? Did you say 220?
It is 220.
Good, because we had a little snafu at our shop, and we just got 22 packages of it. And for those of you who don't know Rainbow Garley, that's 22 cards times 6.
5.
6.
Oh, 6.
Yeah, it's even worse. So I'm so glad it's your favorite color because I know where I can send some now.
Yes, I would like to have some of that, please, because we sell this all the time. I'm telling you, margaritas, witch faces. I'm looking actually behind you. There's a little house, and I didn't grab that house that I love so much. The Meredith collection has a little 3D house, and it kind of looks like that. Yeah. See how that roof is that kind of just great. Yeah. There's like a couple of greens in there.
There are a couple of greens, so you could maybe mix in. I love this Gloriana Halloween green. You probably have this because I think you have the whole Gloriana collection, and it's really zippy. And it looks more lime green on this screen, but it's got like kind of that acidy green, so you could mix those up together.
Yeah, I think that might be a little yellower from what I can kind of see, but who knows? But yeah, check it out with your 220. And I think this is just such a good color. So yeah. So didn't you also stitch look at that. I have an assistant. This is what I was talking about.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the perfect, oops, that's the wrong one. I have several things here that I want to share. But see that? It's perfect. It's awesome. And I love it because it's, how silk lame sometimes does tone on tone, or sometimes it has silver, or sometimes it has gold. This one is just like a really subtle, not super sparkly. Anyway, right. I'm really glad you made that mistake because this is one of the best silk lame colors out there. And this one is like, I want to stitch this really badly. I've ordered. So just so you know, I try to stitch Halloween, and every time I order multiples of something that I really like, they get sold. So Agatha is the one that I really want to stitch really bad from Plum Stitchery.
Tree, yes.
I ordered either 2 or 3. I set one aside, I kitted it, and someone walked in and was like, "That's awesome. It's already kitted." And I was like, "Oh." So I sold
I
it.
know. Blessing and a curse, right?
Yeah, and what's interesting about that is so was not a lot of like that piece is a very like pretty subtle colored one, like a little more pastel-y, but her balloon, she's like has a hot air balloon flying with her, and it's got this really awesome acidy kind of orange color. So I have also my favorite Krynics. Can I show you that too, or do you have something else you want to show us?
Well, I'm surrounded by Halloween finishing right now. So you show off, or then we'll march back to some of mine.
So what are these ones called? Are these the holograms maybe?
Yes, they definitely are. 100% are.
So this one actually has more purple in it than it's showing. The light is causing it to look more blue.
But do they have an L in their names? Look at the numbers on them. Isn't it something
Yes.
L?
Yes.
So there's a laser. The L's for like lasers.
Laser. Well, these are amazing. And we used multiples of these on this piece. This was a class that we taught here. And
I have it in my stash. I can't wait to stitch it.
I know, it's awesome. I think Diane wrote the stitch guide for this. Now, I thought this was in there, but maybe I'm wrong because that background appears to have a little more orange in the color. But that background is like just a soft Krynic with like a real simple background stitch. And you know what else? I think this might be your color. I think this might be your Gloriana color.
It could be. I mean, it's literally called Halloween green. So it's like, I mean, that's its name. It's crazy.
It's not called like dragon snot or something, because that's also kind of what it looks like.
Halloween green. Now, some of the others, we're totally digressing out of order like we usually do.
Are we supposed to have an order today? I didn't know we were supposed to have an order.
I don't know. I thought we'd do things at the end, but a lot of the silk straw ones, I pulled these, and this one is, to your point, called Ogre. And it's like really kind of like a creepy green. It's looking very friendly on here, much more friendly than it really is.
So that I'm almost certain is what this turkey work is.
Or that turkey work could be lime, because isn't it really bright lime? Yeah, I think that's that.
But then this is with it. So she worked Krynic and
we think it's lime straw.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. We're just not getting great. I have a light behind me, so I don't have great.
Yeah, I think they match because like I said, you sent me the kit and I'm so excited to stitch it.
Yay. Yeah, once again, I didn't get to stitch this either because they all sold and then we couldn't get more. Then I sent one to you.
You still sent me one, which was super nice.
Well, you know,
so you know what I have that piece makes me think of is this, and you just had Heidi's trunk show. I think this piece is I'm the Good Witch. And what I think makes her so fun, which you could do with your little sign, if you didn't put it on like a door. I'm going to back her up. Look at this creepy little witch. And I heard rumor, she's from Pier 1. I heard rumor Pier 1's closed their stores, but they're still available online. And Pier 1 is, in my opinion, one of the best places to find stuff for your needlepoint.
Really?
So I literally found this lady at Pier 1. Look at her cute little face. I mean,
she's great.
Face. And look at her hair. I mean,
I like her Harlequin sort of patterned body or her dress.
I love everything about her. And so then I had to find something Halloween-y to put on her. So here it says I'm the Good Witch.
It's so perfect. So that's a Heidi piece there.
Yeah, next to positive, it's a Heidi piece.
I love that.
Yeah, and look at my finisher, put Arctic Rays in can you see that? There's Arctic Rays in the,
yeah, that's really good. You know, another piece that would be cute on that, that we have now ordered a couple times for different customers. There's one that says it's from the Meredith collection, and it looks like one of the tags, like a luggage tag, and it says frequent flyer.
Oh, cute.
It's got like a witch in a moon, and that would have been cute on that broom too.
And I think this orange, as I recall there, and I don't know if you can totally see it here, there's 3 or 4 different shades of sparkle in here. And one of them, I think that one is the laser guy that you have. And then there's, of course, a fireworks in there because I know you love fireworks.
I do love fireworks. What was I thinking? That was not a thread that I grabbed. So do you have a stitch guide for that? Do you know what's in the background there?
Good. It's basically just the letters are what? I can't tell. Oh, the letters are just satin stitch, but I did bead. Sorry, Megan. I beaded the whole good because I wanted the good to stick out. And then this is just a Bargello stitch in the background. So
I'm going to have to see if I can find a Great Witch because I really love that. And that is looking so cool on camera right now because it's like when you see, we can kind of see the chevron lines behind. Is that chevron? I don't know. Is that what you call that? Behind the piece, and then it matches her. I love that.
Well, and I also have, I should have brought it with me but I haven't I haven't made anything for her, but I bought, actually Kirsty, our finishing manager, and I have been stitching together for a long time. And she bought 2 of them and she gave me one, and it's the Bride of Frankenstein. And she's just like this metal sparkly. And then she's got like a veil. So I think we had a couple custom pieces painted that said, say yes to the dress or something like that.
Oh, that's so funny.
That's a future plan. I kind of forgot about that until just now. So I have to get after Kirsty so she and I can do that together.
I think that's a great idea. I love that. And like a spooky say yes to the dress. That is so cute. What a clever idea. See, you're proving to me that Halloween can be like witchy, but cutesy. I like it.
And then we were talking about trick-or-treating. Well, here, I've got one other piece that is all kids, and actually,
oh, this is the bump in the night one, right?
yes,
Love this.
BC, which stands for before COVID. We used to have a lot of classes in our shop. We had like 8 classes a week, and every fall to spring, I did a progressive class where we'd work on something a little bit at a time over the course of like 5 or 6 months or whatever.
Good idea.
So this is one of my progressive classes. And this is a Amanda Lawford piece, which I think at one point had gone into retirement, but they brought it back out because I kept having people order it. But every month we'd do like just a guy. Like, so you did the ghost one month and this, and the first class I kind of taught the sky stitch and the fence, so they could do those as they went.
Great idea.
So I do have a detailed stitch guide for this, but it is a really fun design with all these fun little kids.
And are those feet like pumpkins? That is so cute.
Wood feet that my finisher painted.
She painted that.
You see the fun stuff she found for the top.
So is there, oh, I love the skeleton on top. Yeah.
There's a poison bottle for you.
Say that again.
There's a little poison bottle. You were talking about, we haven't talked about that yet. Sorry, we're going to get to your poison bottle.
Well, we can right now. I have it right here.
Poison bottle right there.
So I was telling you that I have a lot of really great ideas for Halloween stitching, a lot of things I aspire to do, but I just haven't, which is why you knew that I was going to bring this up. But is it Kirk and Bradley or Burnett? I guess it's Kirk and Bradley.
Because I have like 6 of them in my stash too.
I was going to
stitch them together. Let's do that.
Liz
has a bunch too, so we could just start like a little mini stitch along.
That's a great idea because these are so funny and so fun. I mean, there's frogs legs or frog's breath and snake something and
cat puke.
Yeah, I'm not stitching that one. That's disgusting.
I like the cat puke. I think it's hysterical. I'm in the middle of the owl one. What's the owl one say?
Well, there's bat's wings. I love bat's wings. Because that's kind of that reddish one. The owl, I don't know if I know that one.
It's the newest one, and I'm almost done stitching it. But of course, I didn't bring it with me. It's sitting by my bed. Sorry.
My goodness. Well, yeah. And my dream of this would be to have them all finished as little gusseted stand-ups and have them sitting like across the mantle.
Awesome.
We have a customer who is almost done stitching all of them. And are there stitch guides out there, or have just lots of people stitched them? And
I know Needlepoint.com has done a lot of stitch guides, but I'm not sure how available they are anymore.
Got it. Yeah, I don't know either, but I just know that lots of people have stitched these. We've written stitch guides for some people for just who want to try some new threads, get some new ideas. So there's just, what I think so fun about this is there's just so many options. And I'll be honest, this is a cute one, but it's not my favorite. It just happens to be one that I have here in the store. They're all really good and a lot of fun. So we finished one recently where we actually used, I think, I brought some here because memory thread, my memory thread bar comes in handy with a lot of the finishing for Halloween, because you do this with it and it turns into like little pokey spirally things that look great on pumpkins, you know, for like the little vine. But also like if you like on your little guy, like kind of like doodads coming off of here. So I think we put like a real cork sitting on top. You know, I mean, what I think so fun is kind of what you had there with the bump in the night, or is that with the skeleton? There's just lots of little like fun stuff, right?
So that's, I guess, a note for everyone who's watching. If you like all the doodads on your stuff, this is going to drop on Saturday night. Sunday's Halloween. Monday, get your little keister out to Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Joann's, wherever you go. Pick up all the tchotchke for like half off, and you pay next to nothing for it, and you never know where it's going to come up. So I know my finishers, they kind of dread when like someone turns in a bunch of Halloween stuff in like May, because there's no good Halloween tchotchke out there. So we try to do that, but it's really fun, I think, to kind of pick it up. And you don't know for sure if your finishers will be able to use it, but if it's at half off, you know, just throw it in the stash and see what happens.
Yeah. And then it might also, it's kind of like choosing the fabric before the piece, you know, like find an idea, or like your ribbon bar, you find the ribbon that you think might go cute. And I even think you showed some Halloween ribbons, some like skeleton ribbon or something.
Some really good ones. Unfortunately, I didn't grab them because I was so busy grabbing all my finished pieces. Can I show you some more?
Please, by all means. And then I can interject, I think.
This was another like little bitty project. So these are candies from Kelly Clark. So they come as,
we just got that trunk show. I wonder what those were.
Like dimensional. Oh, I wish I'd known you have it. I would have sent you these to show with it. So, and then our finisher wrapped them in tulle with this little rickrack on them. And okay, I'm going to again fly through them really fast. So this one's really cute, but you know, just kind of boring. But then like, look at this one, has like little witch's hat on it.
Yes.
Beaded spider webs. Am I good or what?
Yes, you are. And they have matching little
stitch guides, I have to tell you. But and I think these were from Ruth Schmuff's stitch guides. But they're all super fun. And you know, of course, you know, it wouldn't be a week without me talking about how much I love Kelly Clark. She's going to get a big head. We talk about her all the time.
No, Melissa, let me back you up. It wouldn't be a day without you talking.
Maybe not. I mean, she's just so darn smart. And so, I mean, these are so cute. So these are all still available. And then this one's just kind of boring too, but then that little like bat button.
Yeah. Now I feel like you have access to more like button type things because of your yarn side, like having wooden buttons and stuff for sweaters. Is that true? Or do you just happen to have good wholesalers or what?
I just like, hold on, I just dropped a candy. I just like the little tchotchke. So to be honest, as a retail shop, it's kind of hard to stock all those little tiny things because you don't ever know what you're going to need or whatever, but I just think they're fun.
I'm going to
talk about that whole embellishment thing on Wednesday, right?
Right. So we did the Rachel Donnelly Letter Club. We called it Stitched with Love or Sealed with a Stitch, something, whatever. We have stitch guides for each month of letters. So whenever we sent this one out, Eileen, who's our club and education manager, is amazing. She sourced these little, I don't know.
You want to know what? I have a gazillion of those and I don't even know where they came from. They're in our little bit
from the this little button company or what? Anyway,
I don't think that's from just another button company. It's from somebody else. But anyways, it's darling.
Well, either way, so she sent it as it wasn't part of the stitch guide. Like you can just keep it in your stash, like just a little treat. Like you could stitch it. But what I think is cute is it was kind of like the return to sender, or I mean the
return address.
Thank you. Is the ghost. I just thought that was really cute because it says big.
I'm having a hard time paying attention to the ghost because that brick beaded pumpkin is amazing.
Isn't that neat? And so I'm quite certain that this background is glow in the dark, the white.
Yes.
And
we both have a vague memory. We both have a vague memory of glow in the dark threads. Again, thread acquisition is hard right now, but hopefully we'll both have it back in stock soon.
And and so this person had this finished as a little easel back just to set, in the house somewhere on the mantle or whatever. But I also suggested the other day, and again, what is wrong with us today? We have all these great ideas, but we didn't prepare very well. You may have seen on Wow Wednesday when I showed you the cauldron.
That cauldron's so cool.
If this had been
finished
with a magnet, they could have like stuck that to the cauldron too, because
so for those that aren't watching, you found it in the dollar spot at Target. So it's just kind of like you found, for me, I found the witch and then I was going to figure out something to do later. So this magnetic cauldron is in the, like, was a couple of bucks at Target and something.
I saw it and I was like, that's magnetic. I could put needle minders on that. And so that's what we did. But it also reminded me, it's the same metal that and Rachel has this on her, it's all over the place, but these little black metal mail sleeves, I think they call them, or mail pocket, maybe. So what we suggested was get yourself one of those and then have all these little postcards finished, and then you could change it out for the season. So I just thought that was fun. But yeah, you're right. So the orange beads are so good, and that
So
good too. Now, you know what else? The words are all beaded too.
Oh, look at that. I know you didn't do it.
Heck no, I didn't.
I know you.
Bead hater.
Well,
I need to be
speaking of beaded words, this is my other long-term project that I did. I think I did this one first.
Okay.
And this is actually from the Meredith collection. It comes with a stitch guide, but I basically kind of revamped most of the stitch guide and rewrote it. But see, I did bead all of the words and my bats.
Gosh.
Isn't that, I'm kind of impressed with myself. And then, yeah, did lots of fun things. And so this is not memory thread. This is ruched Kreinik.
Yeah, that's really
thread, kind of the same look too. So yeah, this was really fun. The only thing people really didn't like is this background stitch is out of the, I don't know if we can get that so it'll focus. It's a lattice work stitch and it's in the original, like Joe Christensen's Black Bible, as we all call it. And you work, it's basically a darning stitch on the diagonal. And so you have to do the whole background first, because if you get off by one stitch, boy, oh boy, it's a mess. So anyways, that's the challenging part, but I loved doing this. And this is a 13 mesher, which, you know, you were talking about the other day about how you're loving your 13 mesh. So this is still available because I just ordered this for some people and I had a ton of fun. And I actually stopped on my way back from my lake house at a quilting store and look at this fun fabric I found.
Oh, cute.
So that's another like little thing, like step into your quilting shop. Quilt fabric is not, and you may know more about this than I do. Quilt fabric is not great for pillows, but it's great for the back of stand-ups. And as a matter of fact, I should have showed off the back of this one because I kind of forgot. I didn't buy this fabric, but one of the gals who worked for me went to the same quilt store because her cottage is near mine. And look at that fabric.
Gosh.
Darling.
Oh, yes.
That's so cute. So yeah.
So the reason why quilt fabric, and you do know this, but I'm just going to say it out loud. The reason why quilting fabric is so great for firm finishes. So easel backs, ornaments, is because they're wrapping. Yeah. Oh, cute. Yeah. Well, number one, you can embroider it in the perfect location.
Yeah.
Right here. Look at how cute that is. So it can be easily embroidered. But the other thing is that it needs to be not so thick so that they can wrap it and really get it nicely edged around the firm part of the finish. So thick upholstery fabric isn't good really for any of these firm finishes. But what's good about it for pillows is that it gives it more oomph on the back for a pillow. So.
Right. Yeah. If it's too thin, then the finishers have to line it with something else, and that creates other issues. So anyway.
Yep. So what, so that spider, hold on. Can I say something about a spider? Because I want you to come back. Are you saving that for some reason? Do you not want to show?
I can go to that next. I think, yeah, I've got a few other things here.
So your spider reminds me of my headdress here, or my fascinator, or whatever you want to call it, with spiders. Yeah. I love some black fuzzy stuff for spiders because that's like so creepy.
Out here. So, and then these little black cats and all these are in fuzzy stuff.
Yes. And so, sometimes I don't like fuzzy stuff for animals when we're in more of a serious setting, not Halloween, because I feel it just doesn't. So I prefer the Treenway or eyelash, something that's a little more or whisper or alpaca or something that's a little more animalish. But for Halloween, this is just so great because it has that, what is it, nylon or something in it that gives it that sparkle. I don't even know.
Yeah. Well, and on this guy, I remember my friend Andrea was in this class, and I've talked about her before. As a matter of fact, she told me she noticed me talking about her in one episode, and she's played it for her sisters like 2 or 3 times because they think she's famous now because we've talked about her. But she was trying to do this black cat is all in fuzzy stuff. And the beauty of fuzzy stuff and the blessing and the beauty and curse of fuzzy stuff and black is you really can't see the stitch.
Right.
Don't get bent out of shape about it. Just fill up the space. So I remember me saying to her, just throw 2 strands of it in the needle and just like
Go after it. Long and short. What is the yellow on your pumpkin? That looks like memory, not to beat the dead horse, but that looks like memory thread, or is it just a couch?
That's couch Kreinik. So
yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry. This is ruched Kreinik, but that's a number 12 because it's tinier. And then if you want it to be fatter, you can ruche your Kreinik. And then that's where these bigger, fatter guys came out.
I don't understand ruched Kreinik. How do you ruche?
So you're gonna cut your thread 3 times longer than you need it.
Right.
And then you are gonna go wake up to the top of your thing like you always do, crazy lady. Yep. And you're gonna find one of those little threads and you're gonna pull around. And then you can even use that thread that now you've pulled
to couch it
down with. Sometimes I just get out beading thread or floss or something.
So I've done that before with Frosty Rays because you've got I don't wake it up, but I've got that little center filament that pulls right out. Yeah. But I didn't realize that Kreinik would actually do that. So
yeah, and the skinnier the Kreinik, the smaller your little gap piece is going to be. And
sure,
whatever we all
makes sense for sure.
Yeah.
So
fuzzy stuff on this guy. Do you remember these?
Yes, that's so much fun, isn't it?
It is. So the company is called So Much Fun, SCW. And look at the wings all have fuzzy stuff on them there and over here on the orange side, because fuzzy stuff comes in a lot of really great Halloween colors.
So, well, what would have been kind of cute on that too is, and you carry this is the Treen Way that I was talking about. And I was actually thinking about this for witch hair, because I just like that
for sure
creepy hair, but it would also be super cute. And did you use fuzzy stuff on the side there of his wing?
Yes, because this was a shop sample that we all kind of worked on together. And this has been in the shop for about 10 years. How about that?
Cute.
So
yeah, and we just
did not exist at that point is my point.
Exactly. But this would be great for, I mean, orange fuzzy stuff would be great for witch's hair too, but I just think this stuff's kind of, I don't know, it's like sort of gnarly looking for hair. It's just kind of funny.
She's got good Halloween colors. Okay. I also, this is the one I was showing off the back of.
Yeah, that's such a cute idea.
But this is from Associated Talents.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of really good classic Halloween pieces. Mm-hmm. And they always have like all these little stripes. And if you go on to their website, there's a whole section of stitch guides, and they tend to like kind of repeat patterns.
Yes.
And I'm seeing that as that's like a beautiful thing, because they might not have a stitch guide for this piece, but just go start digging around and you're going to find a stitch guide that has this like checkerboard print on it, maybe an Easter piece, and you can steal and borrow and use whatever you want. Don is super generous about making sure that it's up there. So these are designed like this, but these also get put into these. Have you seen these?
Yes, I was going to say that. So Alexandra Martin, who's the millennial stitcher, she just showed a picture of hers too. Now, so were those from Associated Talents also?
They are. So here's the top, and yes, I'm gonna brag to you again. Look at my skulls; they're all beaded.
So cute. That is so cute.
If I recall correctly, I think these are glow in the dark beads.
Awesome.
I can't remember for sure.
Cupcake holder? Is that what that originally was intended for? As a cupcake holder?
Cupcake holders, and you can still get these. So I think this has to be a 3-inch round. Don't quote me on that because I don't have anything to measure with right at the ready, but I think these are 3-inch rounds. And then the finisher puts them, this almost feels like styrofoam on the inside.
Okay.
Look at how this fabric has like little spider webs on it. Can you see
that's so cool. I love that.
And they add that creepy little head, which is like one of the pom-poms and I think those are a couple pins that make the eyes.
Yep.
So you've got a creepy little spider. And yeah, you can still do these
Super.
too.
So
My kids loved this when they were little too.
I bet so. Yeah. Really cute.
Yeah.
So another thought that I have, and I don't know what you've got around you there, but something else that I just think of when I think of Halloween stitching is my mom's birthday is October 16th. She has never loved Halloween, but she loves fall. And so I stitched, and I wish I had it because it was so fun to stitch. Do you remember, I think it was a Melissa Shirley pumpkin that you sent in I think your first trunk show that we traded. It had like flowers on it, like pinkish reddish flowers. Do you remember that? Anyway, I stitched that for her. But something I think about when I think about Halloween stitching and fall stitching is pumpkins. And this, I think it's called Herb Garden, is them for the part kind of like on your sweater, the stem and like the little scrolly viney things.
Right.
Because if it's painted in multiple colors, you just use this. And I think I did like a packed stem stitch to create the viney thing. And it kind of does the work for you and looks like very cool. And I think this can be cool looking or creepy looking or whatever. So this is just a great.
And ironically, I'm using it on remember part of our pointing it out 21 was to buy yourself something new. So I bought myself on the fly that plum / Riley Sheehy mini sack that has like the holly bows going down it. And that's what I'm using for the holly bows.
So beautiful. Isn't that funny that these threads can look like in this context, like when I have them all sitting here like this, they look kind of creepy.
Right. It looks kind of sophisticated and elegant.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? And then do you have turkey work on anything that you have? Because I have one other thread that we haven't talked about yet.
Yeah, nothing that is sitting here.
So what I think is fun, so turkey work always makes me think of Santa, brims and Santa beards and Santa pom-poms at the end, and then the like fur and stuff. But what I think is really funny is you can do turkey work just with different thread colors and it can look creepy / Halloweeny, right? So this is that like limey color with that Krynic. But don't forget that, were you and I talking about this the other day? I'm pretty sure it's Patricia Sohn who really got me into the glisten with turkey work.
I love glisten with turkey
Glisten
work.
has some great Halloween colors, like one kind of like the color of my, it's like a fuchsia purple and this lime, and they have a black, obviously. But it's great for like turkey work on like pom-poms, or like if this was the body of the spider, and then you did like the legs coming out. I don't have a great example in front of me, but I just think that glisten is underrated, especially like sometimes. I don't know. I love it. I think it's such a great thread, but I love it for creepy, fuzzy stuff too.
For sure. And you brought something up, which is Krynic for turkey work, which Krynic makes great turkey work, but you have to know that you have to have a little bit of patience because you make your loops in the turkey work and then you cut your loops. And then you kind of have to dig your needle in and unbraid it. So like that 16 braid is 16 little pieces of thread all braided together. So you've got to kind of unbraid it, but it makes a phenomenal turkey work.
Right. It takes a little more, like you said, finessing kind of, and probably that might be a situation, how I was advocating the other day, I feel so silly because I feel like I'm talking all the time and I never remember which channel, which avenue it's on. So this is the podcast. I talked on Wow Wednesday. I talked on Monday Music. But I was talking about the benefit of a sharper needle. And I think in that situation, that tulip needle, it is pokier and you have to be careful because it gets your fingers. But in that situation, trying to get, in there and through the sharp needle is helpful, sharper needle. So
I know that you and I have talked before that we both like to stitch in season. So are you stitching anything Halloweeny right now?
I wish that I could say yes. Two things happened. Number one, Agatha was sold out from underneath me. God love.
Poor customer.
She commented on something the other day, again, which channel?
I think that was the one who bought it from me because you couldn't get it from me because Shanna bought it from me.
I forget, but anyway, so maybe that's what it was. So anyway, I cannot remember exactly. It was
an in-shop customer, you said, because it was literally someone sitting there.
Sitting there and somebody was interested in it. so I don't remember who it was. So that was my intention. I even had a swath crystal, like the prettiest swath crystal picked out for the background. And I had talked about a darning stitch and I was like all ready to go and start stitching this weekend. Because my parents are going to be here. And I was like, oh yeah, I can stitch. That didn't happen. The second thing that happened is I told you, I've been doing a lot of shop stitching. We've had a lot of customer finishes that we had. So I've been doing a ton of stitching for other people, which is so pathetic, but that's what I'm doing. So, but now I'm working on, I have a belt, and our belt deadline for the holidays is coming up, and I have a belt for my husband that I'm working on. So I'm like cranking through some things, but unfortunately I'm not being, I guess, given the opportunity to stitch in season right now, but you are, because you have something on your nightstand.
I am. Well, yeah, that's on my nightstand, but I like to stitch in season, but that doesn't mean that it gets done. That's the thing. So I have been working on this. My friend Terry's watching. She'll be able to tell us. Terry and I have been working on this together.
Do they call that Halloween March? I love that piece.
And this has been going on for about probably 8 Halloweens, 8 Octobers.
Oh, I love that.
You notice on the back how much you've stitched. So I've actually done a pretty good job. Like the fence is done. 1, 2, 3 kids are done. I just have this part of this guiding on that's Frankenstein and Dracula. There we go.
That's a great piece.
So yeah. So, and then my big thing was I was working on this from a stitch guide and I was not in love with the sky stitch. So I finally figured out that I really liked this.
That's great.
So yeah, so now I got to get back to it. But some fall this will be done. Not sure which fall it's going to be, but
it doesn't matter as long as you're getting some enjoyment out of it during this Halloween season. That's all you need.
My other future plan, and I can't decide which way it's going to go. So I purchased this feather.
Oh yes.
So cute.
Well, this lives in the center of a gnarly black reed.
Well, what I want to do on here is one of 2 things, and you're going to get a good kick out of this because Megan has a little bit of a love-hate relationships with the Stitch It's Angels. I think she loves them all the time, but every now and then, not so much. But there's like 5 witches that I think would be so cute around here. So that's my one thought. But honestly, my original thought,
the witch angels
is yes, all the witch angels. But Kathy Schenkel, and don't ask me why these are all taped in such weird ways. Kathy Schenkel has all these really cute little stars.
That is
little stitch guides.
See, Frankenstein's face could be 220. You better start stitching that because
I know. Yeah, I got lots of 220. That's what's going in every single one of these. SL 220. But aren't they darling? And these are all like just little snippets. These are probably like 3.5 inches tall. They're super easy.
Great idea.
So a collection of something, whether it be Stitch It's Angels or Kathy Schenkel stars, I'm not sure which, are going to go on this feather boa wreath.
Oh gosh. I'm sorry, Barbara. I do love Stitch It's. I love Stitch It's, period. But
you can't make the connection between
I can't make the connection between an angel.
But I think they're darling. So I don't know. This is what makes the world go round because we all have different tastes. So it's all
I'm just
good
cracking
fun.
up because we had this conversation and now Melissa's calling me out on it and it's just making me laugh. So
Well, I know you love your Stitch It's Angels. It was just this whole like witch versus angel. Like what how can a witch be an angel? That's an oxymoron. Right?
And then I think what really sealed that conversation was when I said, well, surely there's not a devil angel, right?
I said, oh, yes, there is. I've kind of become a Georgette Angel expert because we just get order from but we digress. So bottom line is I'm kind of a Halloween hater, but I love Halloween stitching. So as you can tell, this is almost everything. I think I probably have some more, and I've got lots more in the stash for sure. So.
Oh, good for you. I have, this is in my stash. I love this. And I want to do the poison bottles. And, but I have to say I'm a gift giver and I always give it away. I've got to stop doing that. But anyway.
Well, I think you own the shop. It'll live in your shop for a while. You might notice that this darling little house that you talked about, there are 2 of these here. So if there's still 2 of these here on November 1st, there's for sure one's coming out of inventory.
Here's what I have to say. Thank you. So BC, as you said, that would have been fine. Not anymore. You better put that in your stash right now or else somebody's going to buy it and you're going to have to wait until next May to get it.
Well, there's an eye candy one that goes with it that's been on back order for a while.
Oh, cute.
That one's hopefully coming my way too. We'll see. I got big plans. I have to stop working so much and stitching more, but
We all
you
do.
know, my
We
turn
all
will come.
Well, I hope that you have fun Halloween plans. We do. Our neighbors are a lot of fun, and we're gonna sit outside. Hopefully, it's supposed to be nice and do some outdoor kind of festivities, so COVID safe, and the kids can run around. And I'm looking forward to some sunshine and some kid fun. So, what about you?
We've got nothing. You know, our kids aren't of a. They're gone.
See, now you're just gonna make me jealous too. You're just gonna stitch your Halloween march, and life is gonna be all good.
I might, or you know, I'm working it. I'm sorry to beat the dead horse about the pointing it out 21 and 21 challenge, but if you and I don't finish it, it's going to be embarrassing. So I've got to get to
Don't
it.
put the pressure.
And my big thing that you know, and many of our listeners know, is I'm in the middle of transitioning my den into a home office / stitching room. So I'm hoping to get a lot of work done on that on Sunday, because my sweet husband was at 10 o'clock last night building bookshelves for me in the basement so I can move my regular books downstairs.
Yay.
So I can put all my stitching books in there. And I picked up my card catalog, which has 60 drawers to store my threads in. So yeah.
Unbelievable. Well, we're going to have to remind ourselves to do another quick PIO 21 and 21 update, because we were kind of lax on that the last time, but we got to do that sometime soon.
Can I tell you one quick thing?
Yes.
So you know how we did that episode with the vintage needlepoint, which was that big bag of my mom's stuff that she willed to me?
Yes.
So remember how I talked about how like I really didn't see her stitching that often, and that this piece was in the linen closet and I'd sneak into the linen closet and stitch on it? Well, come to find out, my mom finally watches the episode, because my 24-year-old daughter had to teach her how to, like, where to find it, how to use YouTube.
Sure.
So she called me and she's like, well, first of all, that was a Valentine to me. And she's like crying, like she just like loved every second of like reliving through all of that stuff
Sure.
herself. But that cat was hiding in the closet, because guess what? It was supposed to be a gift for me, and she didn't want to see it. So she's hiding it from me. I'm hiding the fact that I'm stitching on it. And I said, did you ever know that I was doing that? And she's like, no. She's like, it was so few and far between that I could get to it that.
Oh my gosh, how cute is that?
Funny.
So for those of you who are just followed us today, now you need to go back and watch the vintage needlepoint episode, I guess it was. And also we ask that you hit the subscribe button, because the more subscribers we get, the better, and we can get the word out to other stitchers and other designers, etc. So thank you for taking this tour of Halloween stitching with us. We've had a lot of fun. I've got to get this headband off because it is starting to give me a little bit of a headache. I think it's meant for kids.
For an 8-year-old, not a 38-year-old or whatever you're close to.
40. Gosh. Anyway, we will see you all soon. Have a great weekend.
Okay, happy Halloween.
Bye.